now is the right time, even though we're still trying to get out of this one.
Bill Gates is selling his stock. Billionaire Bill Gates just announced that he's selling all of his stocks, and here's the reason why. Welcome to the Peak Performance Channel, the place where you can come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future. In a shocking turn of events, Bill Gates has announced that he is selling all of his stocks and exiting the market. Some are saying it's because he knows something that we don't, and some say that it's a sign of the market is headed for a crash. But Gates hasn't given any clear indication as to why he's making this move. In this video, I'm going to explore the possible reasons behind Gates' decision and try to get to the bottom of it. But before we go any further, make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so that you won't miss a single video. Also, be sure to watch our other videos. Bill Gates may no longer be the CEO of Microsoft, but his actions are still being watched and scrutinized throughout the world, and he has made a commotion due to some of his recent stock market moves. The Microsoft founder famously anticipated a coronavirus pandemic and is now looking ahead to what the next pandemic may be, even publishing a book titled How to Prevent the Next Pandemic. Gates has been selling several of his stocks and shifting the focus of his investments, which many believe is a hint of another possible market structure crisis. According to the theory, if Gates believes that particular industries are growing more dangerous, they most likely are true. Gates is well known as a CEO, yet he excels even better at capital growth. Over the last 2 decades, Gates has accumulated $50 billion with the help of his fund manager Michael Larson. Not only did Gates and Larson profit lavishly from the bull run, but they also successfully predicted the dot-com boom and the 2008 recession. Bill Gates and Chris Larson have been able to beat the S&P 500 by preparing for what is becoming one of the worst recessions of all time. Even though the economy is in a tough position, Gates and Larson are getting ready for it. The US economy is undergoing dramatic changes at the moment. There is a lot of inflation and people aren't happy about it. The Russia-Ukraine war is also happening and people are saving less and going into more debt. In 2021, the government pushed trillions of dollars into the economy. The year 2022 is the exact opposite, with the government withdrawing trillions of dollars. Gates is extremely concerned about the Fed's artificial trap they created for themselves. The economy is now being struck by a two-edged sword. Accelerating inflation is one side of the sword, while huge government debt is the other. The government now has two options: destroy the US currency or wreck the economy, risking popping the debt bubble. The Fed has chosen the second option, slowing the economy at the risk of a catastrophic collapse. The Fed just raised interest rates by 75 basis points, the highest increase since risk. To begin with, overly high interest rates will make things more difficult for businesses to borrow money for investments and mortgages. In the last week, the interest rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage went up by the largest amount in 35 years. If the increase slows the economy too much, a recession or depression may happen. Russia attacked Ukraine and it feels like we've entered a different world. Energy and food prices are projected to rise in the coming years. It's tough to see how things will get better for a while yet. The economic outlook for the next several years seems bleak. Keep in mind that this comes on top of the pandemic, which already had a high level of government debt and other supply chain issues. A recession normally follows when Brent crude oil surpasses $100 per barrel. Brent crude oil is currently selling at $120 per barrel, indicating that a recession may be on the way. The reason why a recession usually follows oil prices breaking $100 is that rising oil costs act as a tax on consumers. Gas costs pull money right out of the pockets of consumers. As a result, the consumer has less money to spend. It also has a negative impact on consumer sentiment. According to the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, consumer sentiment is currently very low. Gates and Larson acknowledge that the year 2021 was fraught with uncertainty. Before the pandemic, the economy was much stronger. People were spending money and businesses were doing well too. However, when the pandemic struck, everything changed. Both consumers and businesses were affected. Even now, we are still experiencing the effects of the pandemic. Money printing can't just bring us back to how things were before. People are behaving differently because of their concerns about this virus. People don't want to travel or go to events. They're also afraid to go to restaurants. We won't be able to say that it's safe for you to go back to work until we feel confident that you can be safe. There is no easy solution to fixing the economy. It will take a lot of time and work. There are two main parts to fixing the economy: the demand side and the supply side. The demand side is affected by how people feel about getting sick and also by how much money people have. The supply side is affected by how many people are working and how productive those workers are. Even though the economic landscape is fragile, Gates believes that the pandemic is not over. In fact, he thinks that there is greater than 5% risk that a more deadly form of the virus will emerge. He explained his reasoning by saying that we haven't seen the worst of it yet. So we have not just high inflation and liabilities, but also a pandemic that might worsen. All of these variables, when combined, put the US at risk of a terrifying economic and social crisis. When it comes to investment, Gates identified producing assets as his speciality, although he has actually been selling his assets. According to his most recent quarterly disclosure, for the first quarter of 2022, he sold millions of shares in a variety of companies. Hey, here's a quick reminder before we continue. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't done so already. It means that YouTube will send you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel. Let's get back to the video. According to a recent report, Bill Gates is selling his stocks and investing in cryptocurrency. The Microsoft co-founder is said to be worth an estimated $89 billion and has been gradually selling off his shares in the company over the past few years. Now it seems that Gates is turning his attention to cryptocurrency, with sources claiming that he has already invested in several major projects. Gates isn't the only one who is bullish on cryptocurrency. In fact, some of the world's most famous investors have been pouring money into this sector. Hedge fund manager Mike Novogratz recently predicted that Bitcoin could reach $40,000 within 2 years, while Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein has also spoken favorably about the digital currency. It's clear that there is a lot of interest in cryptocurrency from the investment community, and it will be interesting to see how Gates' involvement plays out. If he is as successful with cryptocurrency investments as he has been with Microsoft, then we would see some major changes in the market over the next few years. Bill Gates is selling stocks, but no matter what he does, he will still be rich. He's sold many of his Microsoft shares over the years, and he's also donated billions of dollars to charity. Gates is still one of the world's richest people, and he doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. What are your thoughts on the recent news? Are you reviewing your portfolios right now? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thank you for being all ears throughout this video. If you'd like to learn more about the nature of this business, subscribe now and click on the notification bell to be updated with my latest uploads. To create is effort, to copy is genius. Albert Einstein. If you want to expand your income by engaging with some side hustles, feel free to contact me, so we'll get things moving right away. Remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.